the world, you are welcome to the Allianz Stadium in Turin, Italy, for this fourth game on this Autumn Nations Cup weekend. It's Italy against New Zealand, 9:10 on a Saturday evening in Turin, 9:10 on a Sunday morning in Auckland. Wherever you are in between or before those hours, you're more than welcome to what we hope will be a terrific game, the final game of New Zealand's European adventure. They picked a cold one. It's 0 degrees, and it will be a lot colder than that by the time we get to the climax of this game in about 2 hours' time. Well, historically, this has been very one-sided. In the previous 16 matches, New Zealand have won all 16, an average of 50 points the margin, and they're 91% favourites for this game this evening. And it's hard to argue with any of the statistics when you look at them in any detail. This New Zealand side, well, only once in 80 years have they lost back-to-back matches against European opposition. They lost against France last week. The chances of them losing to this Italian side, you've seen the statistics. Italy, well, 5 of the last 7 games they've won. Crucially, though, they lost to Argentina a fortnight ago, to Samoa in their June tour. Outside of that, 2024 has been a very good year for them, of course, with wins against Japan and Wales, Scotland, Tonga, and then last week against Georgia. And that, Dowie Morris, psychologically was a huge win for them, particularly after that Argentina performance in Udine.
Yeah, they underperformed. I think I've got a slight problem here.
Just having a little trouble with Dowie's microphone. We'll get to him momentarily. As the captains line up, no Michael Lamaro for Italy this week, so the man on the right-hand side of your screen, Juan Ignacio Brex, is the captain of Italy tonight, and it's a glorious stadium, 41,500 people, and they're brave souls, cold souls, but full of colour and full of life as the teams make their way from underneath the stadium out onto the ground. And what an amazing achievement for 2 New Zealanders in particular that we will say goodbye to in the international arena. Sam Cane is 104th international cap tonight. TJ Perenara will come off the bench, no doubt, to win his 89th cap. There is Cane, captain of New Zealand for so long, took over from Richie McCaw. He's been a phenomenal servant. That's the face of how look got BC the outside half for Italy tonight as the sides come in, and we will settle down to go through the pre-match protocols, the national anthem, of course, all the colour and the razzmatazz and the culture of the haka to come. But what a big night for that man. Before we go any further, there will be a moment's silence in the Allianz Stadium in Turin to remember Francesco Giargiulio, 4 times capped international, and Amar Kuden, another 20s international, both of whom have lost their lives recently and rightly remembered in Turin in front of an Italian crowd who rise to their feet to mark that moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand up for the national anthem of New Zealand.
Crowd remain standing for the national anthems.
Hey, ho,
interpretando da Dennis Dolan, azzurro numero 499. E ora il momento dell'inno della Repubblica Italiana!
You can belt up for this one. Wonderful, wonderful, led by Dennis Dallan, the former Italian international, on lead vocals. And, well, that'll warm them up on what is a freezing cold evening in Turin. We fixed the wobbles in Dowie Morris's microphone, we hope. And are we going to hear Dowie?
Well, I'm trying to.
Unfortunately, yes. The gremlins are still in there, so we'll get to Dowie in a moment, but there's plenty unfolding on the pitch in front of us as the lights come on for the haka and the Italians line up to face. Led for the last time by TJ Terranara. Wonderful, and a bit like Paris 7 days ago. Stony silence, respectful silence in the stadium, unlike maybe in the Aviva in Dublin and in Twickenham in London. As we take a look at the starting lineups, Fischetti, Lucchesi, Riccioni in that front row will be under all sorts of pressure tonight. Vincent at 8, Zuliani and Negri either side of him. No Mikel Lamaro, Rosa and Lam, the two big men in the second row. And Capuazzo is back at 15, having had to leave the game against Argentina after about 20 minutes or so with the concussion. Montejuani and Jacopo Trulla either side of him. Brex and Menoncello in the centre. Garbisi at 10 and Pedrello at 9. Not as many changes as many expected in this All Black starting side. De Groot is back, Taylor and Lomax in the front row. Scotty Barrett leads the way, Tui Pilato alongside him, Sititi, Savea and Kane. You can mix and match them in any position at 6, 7 and 8. Clark and Talea either side of the fantastic Will Jordan. Bowden Barrett continues at 10. Roygaard is something special at 9. And well, you say special at 9, they're special from 1 to 23. And you look at that bench and you know they have so much more to come. For Italy, not the same depth of course, but still with Ferrari and co in the front row, there are options when the bodies get tired, which no doubt they will.
Well, I'll try for the third time, whether you can hear me. Hopefully, yeah, I've gone contactless because the Euro coin in my pocket didn't work, but this is a cracker. The big story here is that the Azzurri have to stay. They have to stay with the All Blacks a full 80 minutes, or it could run away for them.
Pierre Brouzet of France is our referee. And, well, what a huge task ahead of this Italian side that started with so much promise against Argentina, but ultimately fell off them, losing by 50 points to 18. They recovered somewhat last week by beating Georgia in Genoa by 20 points to 17, but they're going to have to show all sorts of improvement just to be competitive against this New Zealand side, who finished their season and will want to finish the international careers of Kane and Pereira and Perenella in particular in the best possible way. And the immediate emotion taken out of the game, sharp blast of the whistle from the referee, and we will get the throw to the line out. There was a foot in touch.
Yeah, and he's one of the best in the business, I've got to say, Pierre Brouzet. Again, coming back to Italy, they don't want to stop playing. You could see your interview with Gonzalo Casada at the beginning. You know, he's in trepidation, but he is admiring of the obviously side that the All Blacks have put out. They know the task in front of them, but don't stop playing. And try and win your own ball.
And try and win your own line out, indeed. That one misfires, and Roygaard gets his foot on the ball. How good is he at scrum half? Just his 10th cap. Talea, speaking of talent and ability, he's kept that in, or has he? No. The assistant on this near side had a long look at that and a little think and decided out on the full was the right call, and we'll go back almost to where that first line out.
Well, that's Cam Roygaard who outplayed Anton Dupont, and that isn't an easy thing to do. Dupont didn't play badly, but this guy, Cam Roygaard, came back in and just took over. His distribution was superb, his communication with the forwards were brilliant, and obviously that try he burgled, he picked the pocket of Gregory Aldrich, which is not a hard thing to do.
Pressure already on the Italian line out, but they go to Negri at the front and do well. That one is knocked forward with New Zealand defence up so quickly, and the pressure of that, one eye on the ball, one eye on the defender, and ultimately you don't control it.
And you've had two mistakes, one bad line out then and one drop pass. He knows, again, you've almost got to be 100%. You're never going to get that 100% game, but you've got to be near to it to beat the All Blacks, or you come close to the All Blacks.
38 times capped for his country, Gonzalo Casada. There's Scott Robertson, 50 years old. What a career he had at club level with the Crusaders. Now settled in, you feel, to, well, they call it a bigger job than that of the Prime Minister in New Zealand. His scrutiny is such.
Well, it's the national product. And rightly so. They've been number one South Africa there at the moment. Ireland are up there, New Zealand are never far from the top, even if they have a little blip, but never underestimate this side.
Roygaard with Savea and co going to work, and that, well, line out, scrum and a drop ball in 2.5 minutes. Ominous signs for Italy.
And also it's one of those areas that Italy are naturally good at and have been over the years and got better at. Last week, got to say, Tamati Williams, who's not playing for the All Blacks, he really did take it to the French front row. He's injured, but again, they've got some powerful guys out there, Lomax in particular.
Cody Taylor goes towards the rear, and it's the Italians' turn to turn it over, much to the delight. Zuliani turns around, puts the head down, and gets Italy going forward. It's a statement of the obvious, but Italy need to start well, to get the first points on the board, to get this crowd behind them, and to give them something to build on, because if they go behind to New Zealand, well, you would fear, as I say, 50 points, the average winning margin for New Zealand over the years, as Telea comes forward, but he hits the ground, and he hits a lot of poundage of Italian beef. But the All Blacks are going to look to play their way out of trouble. Ball there for Roygaard. Off it goes to Tuipolotu, who's put down quickly. Scrum half had to react. The ball wasn't controlled at the back of the breakdown, and Italy are warming to the task. Need a scrum half. They have one now. Negri always leads by example. The crowd, the decibel level goes up. The ball is knocked backwards, not forwards. And then the referee decides it has gone forward. His initial point was very clear, it went back, but I think he got a call from his assistant on the far side to say no, it went forward. Well,
Predominantly we're in a football area here. This is the home of Juventus and Serie A. I think they're the 6th at the moment on 24 points. This crowd is loving this already. We were down there a couple of hours before. The pitch has got a little bit of film and a little bit of grease, so it adds to an exciting game. That's a mistake from Cam Rygaard. He didn't really, there's no trajectory there. He's taken a step away from the security of the base, and he's charged down, and there you go. Ruzzo, just his eye off the ball for 1 second, and it comes back to that point. You've got to be as clean as you can, Italy, but what a great start. 4 minutes in, fantastic.
Well, Gonzalo Quesada, before the match, talking about having to do the basics well. So far, the basics haven't been great, and one of the real concerns for Italy here is they've missed more tackles than any other Tier 1 nation in this calendar year. And if they fall off tackles against this All Black side, well, they're going to find themselves under the posts. New Zealand trying to get the ball in hand and get a bit of momentum going. They haven't really found it yet. And Italy turn the ball over. They're good at that. They're the best team in the world in 2024 in terms of number of turnovers average per match. Had a couple already, but New Zealand have it back again. And Barrett looks for some space downfield. Here's Ange Capuozzo, the Toulouse full-back. Wonderful runner with the ball. On this occasion, goes to the air. It's a competition that Will Jordan wins comprehensively.
He's got a few inches on Capuozzo. Everybody wants Capuozzo to run with the ball, but again, kicking is a massive part of the international game, and that was the correct thing to do.
Use it!
Well, the accuracy mightn't have been there from Italy, but the enthusiasm and commitment to the cause most definitely has been. Capuozzo's coming from a long way back. Everybody left it because he was coming. Italy somehow pop up with it. A couple, Trula tried to get his hands on it. Sam King did, but there was all sorts of knocks on in there, and the referee is going to call for a scrum. But it's positive signs in terms of attitude and commitment from the Italians in this opening 7 minutes.
You can see their attitude, because again, New Zealand attempted to go wide from that first initial line out there, which is a great move, but if you're going to go wide, you've got to protect the ball. The Azzurri knew they were coming, and basically they crouch over top of the man, get the ball back, and it's a turnover. Like you said, 6.6 on average per game turnovers. This is a side that's changing. This is a side that is evolving. You know, they're a fantastic Six Nations. That's just around the corner after Christmas. Winning 2 and drawing 1. So, yeah, these are the foundations. They can't afford to take a backward step, though.
Coach!
And especially not in a scrum, which is going to be under a bit of pressure. That man there, Sam Cane on the side, fantastic servant of New Zealand rugby.
He's assumed that position on 1,000 or more times for the All Blacks. Crossfield kick as Montiolani is out there and ready to go, and he's got pace and strength, and he drives Italy up towards the 22. Pedrorello looked to put a little kick in around the corner, but he was just hit as he was about to make impact, and it knocked him out of his rhythm and out of his stride. Scott Barrett brings a little bit of beef and a little bit of control to the situation. New Zealand will look to go through a few phases, you think, and settle themselves into this game, because they've been hit by a white wave.
And that's exactly it. They just need to hold on to the ball a bit, but again, they try the adventurous.
They are, and it's been mopped up by Tommaso Menoncello. For those of you who don't know, Menoncello, Six Nations Player of the Year, the most dominant tackles in World Rugby this year, and he is a class act at 22, the Benetton centre, taken on by Fischetti. But in at the side, from one of the arriving Italians.
From the side.
And a chance for New Zealand to kick upfield, get a little bit of territory, and likely retrieve possession from a line-out.
And you can see Luke Casey there. That's the penalty. It's the hooker. This is the crossfield kick to Ioane. He does well. He's got no option on the wide outside, so he's come back in field to recycle the ball. Pajarello tries to grab it through. Unfortunately, it wasn't a classic kick. Hence, they put themselves under pressure. Then Lucchesi goes in at the side, bit more pressure. This is what the Blacks want. This is what the backs want to do. Build that pressure in the Italian half.
Cody Taylor to the front, where Patrick Tuipulotu is waiting, and New Zealand go to the maul. Italy reasonably well set, but they're giving up enough momentum for the referee to let it continue forward. Roygaard had it, but across came Rosa, and Italy turn it over, fly hack it downfield, and into touch it goes, and it's celebrated like a try. Terrific work at the maul from New Zealand initially, but Italy got in amongst them, and then from Rosa to the boot, and Italy find themselves about 7 metres short.
And that's the big second row getting in there. That's a little scrum half. I thought it was a 50-22 initially, but he was just inside the New Zealand half. If he was outside, that would have been it is a 50-22. Even better. Well done, number 9. Well done, his big second row in front of him, put him in a good position.
Negri goes high to the sky. Gianmarco Lucchesi at the back of that maul. Needs a little bit of control. Can Italy find it? Goes to ground, should be there, and around the corner. Negri goes again, in goes Savea. And the referee says, off your feet, Sardi. Penalty, Italy. They're loving this. They're absolutely loving it.
This is better than football. They're absolutely behind this idea. They will go for 3 points, I'm sure. Arnie Savea was... the referee speaks to the captain, Brex. Yeah, he's happy with that. But they will go for 3. They will take the points. Arnie Savea, so good, but you've got to support your own body weight. He didn't on that occasion.
And I would suggest there's a coolness and a clarity about the thinking of Ignacio Brex, because the temptation must have been, we'll go to the corner. But he disregarded that and said, we'll take the 3. We deserve 3 for what we've done, and they get it.
And you've navigated the first 10 minutes when everyone has given him 50 points, 60 minutes. They're keeping it that. It's a good sort of performance from Italy. They're not having any of this. Negri there, he's the big ball carrier. He smashes it up. Massive carries against Georgia last weekend, and they need every one of them. Then you can see him appealing to the referee. Yep, he's got it. Italy 3-0 up. And there's not many bookies would have given that scoreline.
A long, long way to go. But they got to start somewhere. That's a terrific take from Caleb Clark. Exactly what his side needed right now. They need some pitch dominance in terms of territory. Haven't had any. Not inside the Italian 22. The couple of times they've got here, they've got themselves all in a muddle, and Italy have poured through again. Rosas,
he's having a great game.
Like a dog with a bone right now. Barrett thought about one way, decided the other. The Italians were up and ready for it. There for Roygaard. Kane tries to offload it to Clark and does really well, basketball style, over the top, finds his man. Italy, crucially, just not giving New Zealand any time to settle. Even clean ball is pressure ball. The defensive line up quickly again. Roygaard flicks it away to Barrett, who steps back inside. Lucchesi, the one to make the tackle. Ball squirts back to Cody Taylor. For a moment, Menicello looked like he could get on it. He did get on it, but his hands went beyond the ball first. Advantage being played to the New Zealanders. Will Jordan. Savea, Kane calling for it. Telea, the option, back inside. No advantage accruing back for the penalty. It was Tommaso Menoncello who went off his feet at the breakdown in an attempt to turn it over.
Yeah, and you've got to say that the Azzurri are winning the battle of the contact areas. They're almost stopping on this occasion. You know, you can see Taylor going through, but every aspect, as long as you get on that ball straight away and support your weight, you've got a chance. That wasn't the occasion. That was allowed. It was the one before with Menoncello, as you explained. So, again, this time it'll be one of the Barretts, Bodie Barrett, just to calm things down. It's exactly the way Italy want the game to sort of unfold. They're in it, they're competitive, they're stopping New Zealand on that gain line, they're getting ball. Couldn't be better for them.
So then Beauden Barrett, 758 international points. Davis 134th international cap, and that's what faces him. Settle the heart rate, calm the body. Through the process he goes, and that's so often the result is the assistant referees putting their flags in the air. It's 3 points apiece.
There's plenty of Kiwi support. Scott Robinson in the middle there. We saw a few of the lads in the hotel, didn't they? We're having a libation at breakfast time, enjoying their tour of Europe.
Got BC to the air, and it's taken by Rico Ioani. But the referee
Not for contest, no access.
has blown the whistle, and Italy have the penalty. I was just looking down now. Rico Ioani made his debut against Italy 8 years ago, but he was surrounded by All Blacks players there, and the referee had judged that they were obstructing the Italian player getting in to compete, and therefore penalty Italy.
And the word he used is access. You've got to give access to the chasing guy to compete with the guy that's catching the ball. You could see 3 All Blacks on the side going, oh ref, it wasn't me. They were shadowing it and allowing an easy catch. That has been stopped now, and I think, as I've said numerous times, it's one of the best things ever. You have you compete for the ball in the air, and you'll see more mistakes and a better game.
Garbisi raises the flags and the vocal cords of all those here. Well, the majority of those here.
Again, ultra experienced, over 100 caps, as you said, Ryle. You just need to calm things down. They've got to get in the right areas and play the All Black game. They'll play a fast and furious game, but at the moment, they're just getting turned over.
Well, Gonzalo Quesada had his team in a huddle in the middle of the field before this game started, and you didn't need to be a lip reader for him to understand that his message was very clearly, you've got to get to the tempo of this game, you've got to perform at this level, and they've done that for their coach so far. As we head towards the end of the first quarter, and Rosa has led the charge, hasn't he, in the number 4 shirt for Italy. He's in there again. Barrett will pop it off, and Kane will look to carry. Negri holds on to him, and the referee blows the whistle, not releasing. And that penalty, is a cheap one, and it gives up territory.
Yeah, it's a silly one, because the referee said, you know, tackle made. So basically what happens is you've got to release that ball, not rip it. He's gone against what the referee said, so again, it's just a chance of putting pressure on Italy. Didn't need to do it, let them have the ball and get away. Penalties conceded, Italy 5. Well, again, they're scrapping. They can't overdo that, because obviously the more pens they give, the more pressure builds.
Yeah, you've got to get to the emotional pitch, not go beyond it. They've got in the line-out face of New Zealand again. They've won the ball, the All Blacks, but it's scrappy ball, and we've barely mentioned this man at all in the opening 17 minutes. Wallace Atiti takes it into contact. Roygaard a little slow to get there, and Kane will carry for a hard yard.
No.
Roygaard back, Barrett in the pocket, says I'm going to go to the air. Capuozzo is there, Jordan's coming to meet him. The 2 fullbacks, Telea is the beneficiary, Menoncello the one to make the tackle. The All Blacks in to the Italian 22 momentarily for the first time. They'll get back there momentarily again with Cody Taylor. Roygaard, Barrett Italy up again. Huge tackle from Riccioni. Barrett. Taylor. Back in his feet after making the tackle is Vincent to make another one.
No lift, just 1 hour.
50 tackles made by Italy so far to New Zealand 17. Drive towards that 22 to Ipalotto. Gets good momentum, good forward movement from the New Zealand pack as Savea follows that up. Straight and true. Sititi next to go. Referee.
First knock on what and rip. You're right, you rip the ball, but the ball went forward, it's a knock on. Knock on, rip the ball forward. Knock on first.
First knock on, he
Time
said,
off.
is from an Italian hand. It'll be a scrum to New Zealand. Couple of injuries to be seen to before that happens. It's a million miles an hour, Darius.
It is, and it's fantastic. And they go to, again,
Okay,
one of
John.
the things, the best wingers on the planet at the moment. Mark Telea doesn't get it. Jordan Barrett gets it. Jordan gets it back to him.
Right.
It's fast and furious.
Okay, TMO.
Both sides trying to make inroads, and actually at one point I think the forwards from New Zealand just said, right, it's just pick and go. We've had enough of it going wide and you losing the ball, the backs. We pick and go, pick and go, pick and go, which is a dangerous thing. Again, if you're defending just so wide, but actually it's effective for New Zealand. Italy just coming in, knocking that ball on. It's that man-possessed Russo, I think, who made that mistake. But what an opportunity now. I think they've got put it into this scrum, New Zealand, right in front of the posts, 10 metres out.
Yes.
Some concern for Danilo Fischetti, the Zebre prop forward, 47 international cap. Need to listen to the referee here.
You have nothing on the screen?
No, nothing on the screen for me.
Trying to communicate with his television match official.
The referee has nothing on the screen.
There's two big
There's no
screens,
footage on
obviously,
the
in the stadium, which you can't see at home.
He has no
And that-
footage on the screen.
So if there's no footage, he's just going to have to get on with it and come back to it later, I'm sure.
We said TMO check, and we asked for the review.
They're checking something, I don't know. Did you say anything, Ryle? Was it maybe a croc roll or something like that? I don't know. Here we go.
Okay, it's coming now.
Okay, so you have a clear footage of
Let's-
number 4 black.
Okay, Glavin,
Croc roll
twist
on the-
him. So we got a clear croc roll, that is a yellow card threshold. Agree, Nika? We go?
Camera 9 is best
Agree.
angle.
Number 4, it's a croc roll. It's a yellow card threshold.
Referee will sin bin Scott Barrett, the New Zealand captain, for a croc roll. Can't do that anymore, and it's a straight yellow card, and Barrett goes to the bin. And crucially, from Italy's perspective, New Zealand down to 14, and having been in that dangerous position for the first time, Italy get a get-out-of-jail-free card.
Well, they do. That's it. They played the numbers game in a sense. They put someone into the contact area, which they've done for the first 19 or so minutes. You're not allowed to grab someone. To be fair to Scott Barrett, he's got him round the shoulders. It's not a head, but he's actually rolling him away from the ball. And what it is to stop the damage on knees and ankles like that. So there you go. He's gone to the bunker. So the foul play official will be having a look at that as well. So if he thinks it deems it harsh enough, that will stay. Well, that will go from a yellow to a red.
Two receiver.
Numbers, that's a technical one, and it's a free kick.
We got 2 receivers.
Opportunity lost for Italy, just as they were increasing the pressure. He jumped out of the line out. There's 2 receivers there as well. The referee saw lots wrong with that.
It's a bit of Strictly come dancing, yes. It's difficult to make the
We got
referees
this.
clear. But now New Zealand up against it. They go for the good old Gary Owen.
Free kick, not a penalty, and that one, well, I thought it was too far ahead from Bowden Barrett, but Capuozzo knocks it forward when it looked like a reasonably straightforward catch and hands the momentum back to the All Blacks.
Advantage over for knock-on.
Regards, advantage gone for that knock forward, so just as I say it, there's a knock forward from
Knock-on advantage.
Rico Ioane, and that's come from the pressure again of the intensity in the tackling from Italy.
I think you're going to see, again, a bit of what we saw before was the pick and drive from these New Zealand forwards to get some dominance in the ball, because Italy's line speed is phenomenal at the moment. They are flying off the line. They are forcing mistake after mistake.
Was the line out?
And it's just in the contact areas.
I want just 1 receiver.
Ioanni's a massive carry. He was last week at 16 carries, top carriers.
Time off.
But again, he's not having it his own way purely because of that line speed. Look at that. Possession in the last 92% New Zealand, but they're still keeping him out, Italy.
92% possession for New Zealand in the last 10 minutes, but they've only spent 4% of the 21 odd minutes played so far in the Italian 22, and that's been crucial. Ethan de Groot is okay to continue.
Black.
Well, there you go. Like I said, you're going to stay in the fight for the full 80. Well, that's 20 minutes, Ken. That's the first quarter. 6-3 ahead. Now, this is crucial for Bajarello, the 9. Garbisi, the 10, to orchestrate a good exit from here. Don't go for broke. Just make sure you're getting it 15 metres, possibly up to that halfway line.
Crouch. Time off. So, you will open the shoulder? I don't want to have a clear gap. You're the mark, please left to the mark. Left to the mark.
Cries of Italia go up around the Allianz Stadium. 41,500 people sold out, having been in Genoa last week, in Udine the week before. The Rugby Roadshow has brought the All Blacks to town, and the national team so far have lived up to the challenge. Ioanni goes after this one and wins the battle. Capuozzo finishes the job. Menoncello got there in the nick of time. Ioanni's trying to play scrum half. New Zealand come pouring through, and that was great work from Telea and I think Anton Leonard-Brown. Italy felt they had done the hard work and didn't protect the ball.
They had, but they just lost the concentration. Capuozzo doing so well against Mark Telea. He's twice the size, almost twice the strength, but he's ripped the ball away. And what they did, they presented it, but they didn't put enough bodies and enough strength over that ball. Again, I think it was Barrett in initially, and they just counter-ruck. So important in the modern game.
A little of improvising from Beauden Barrett, trying to get a bit more of an angle with a banana kick of type, and he's got decent distance out of that kick. Of course, his brother
Captain, please.
still in the sin bin.
Here we go. I think this is a decision.
Where's the captain now for All Blacks? Yellow card will remain a yellow card because no high level of danger. Yellow card remain a yellow card. Okay.
Yellow card remains a yellow card. Both the captains, as part of the protocol, now brought in. The crowd, through the microphone of the referee, are able to understand the decision. In some ways, we wonder why we weren't doing this 10 years ago.
Exactly. Look, he knows the situation, but again, at least we've still got a competent game. What would have happened if it had been red? He'd basically have 20 minutes, and then they'd have a substitute could have come on.
Bunker review decided red was not the colour it needed to be, and you can understand why it wasn't around the neck from Scott Barrett. It was illegal, though. Straight and true from Leonard-Brown. That was a big collision in midfield. Roygaard trying to weave a little bit of magic. Gets the ball off to de Groot, and Garbisi throws himself in the way like a speed bump. Roygaard's been working off scrappy ball, and he's found a hole. Oh, what a try. Moment of vision from Cam Roygaard to find a hole when there didn't look like there was one. And how very New Zealand to suck up all that pressure, all that emotion, and hit back with a try like that.
And this guy's come back after a very serious knee problem. Again, he's destined for greatness. He scored that try. He's like the artful dodger who picked the pocket of Gregory Aldrich, one of the best number 8s in world rugby last week. He's done the same. He doesn't get flustered. He's made a few mistakes early doors, but again, if you don't close him down, I would say if I'm playing against him, Bajarello, I would be watching him man on man. That would be my job. He's that good.
We don't have any shot clock in the stadium, please.
Referee making the point to the television match official that there is no shot clock for the players to see, or the referee indeed to see, in the stadium on that kick, which Beauden Barrett slots with ease. Damien McKenzie fan in the crowd.
He'll be on at some time, or some stage, just to say that's too easy again. Everyone's got their arms up, it doesn't matter. You've got to watch him, you've got to watch the ball all the time, especially that guy.
7th international try for him. 4 points in New Zealand's favour. Will they build on that? Away goes Rico Ioane into the Italian half. The cavalry arrived to clear it out. Quick ball for the All Blacks. Italy are at 6s and 7s in defence. Garbisi gets back. Jordan waits for him to get to his feet and then puts him down. Body came flying in there. I think it was Sam Cane, but referee happy that it was legal. Italy have hold of the ball again.
Use it!
But psychologically, they've taken a blow, and you wonder how that might impact in the next 10 minutes. They've dealt with the initial issue, the kick in behind from Beauden Barrett. From that man, it looked like it had set New Zealand free, but Italy, through Pedrello, settle it down again.
Yeah, but you can't afford to miss, you know, Ioane's taking that ball, everyone's got clear vision of him, and all he's done is actually just broken away and nobody's made that tackle. You've got to make every tackle, Italy, if you're going to stay in this fight, and that was too easy.
The number ones will lift. Well, it looked like they would. It goes a little further down the line to Ardi Savea, and remember, that try scored, and we're still playing 15 against 14 in Italy's favour. Mull splinters a little.
Yeah, you still got 3 minutes left on the card, so actually they're just taking the clock down here. It's very sensible, keep it in the forwards and then just releasing.
Nice around the corner. Clark comes into the line, sets it up. Roigard is there quickly up, shoots Monty Ioane on Rico Ioane and makes the tackle back inside to Will Jordan. That one was knocked forward. The pass from Beauden Barrett, not exactly where it needed to be, and the pace that Jordan was coming at just couldn't handle it.
Well, there's two things there. The empathy's not quite there in the pass, and again, Jordan, Will Jordan, that is, you just need to be deeper. You can never be too deep on this rugby field, I don't think. This is the initial move there, nothing on, so basically crash it up. Caleb Clark, that's what he's done. The clear out was superb. But again, if I was New Zealand, I was New Zealand's forwards coach, or even Scott Robertson, the main coach, I'd have kept that ball in. And look at that defence. Tackles made, 75 from Italy, 22 from New Zealand. And of course, you're going to miss a few, that's 10. That can't get it massively higher. The missed tackles can't get massively higher. But coming back to, I'd like to, if again from a New Zealand point, keep that ball in. They were edging closer, they were closer. I don't think it was the right time to pull the trigger.
Just looking at the tackle statistics on the individual players, the number 8, Ross Vincent's made 15 tackles already for Italy. Menoncello with 7, Rosa with 10.
That's what you got to do, put your shoulder to the wheel.
Pedrello will get the free kick, free engagement against Ethan de Groot. Italy not hanging around. Crowd are fully engaged in this one, aren't they? Pedrello once more. Lucchesi stopped in his tracks. New Zealand's turn to come up quickly. Talea looked a little offside to me there. He scrambled back. But we're going to have scrum. There was a knock forward there. Garbisi looks at the referee and says, surely not.
He's looking at the winger. This ball's going to go up in the air initially. That's the first fumble. That one's okay. Chucks it back, and there it is. You're not getting away with that. Even with 16 or so cameras, the referee's right in front of you.
I will have a look from both.
Surveyor's asking the ref to have a look at something, which you can do because he's taken over. He is a vice-captain. Obviously, with Scott Barrett being off, he's taken that reins. There's a few leaders out there in the black shirts, I must admit.
Yep.
It's been some year for New Zealand, hasn't it? The Rugby Championship didn't go at all according to plan. By their own lofty standards, it was below par. And of course, a new coaching team and some crucial selection issues to be ironed out, but they've come north to Europe, and having dealt with England, having dealt with Ireland. They came oh so close in Paris last week, and they look like a side under that new coaching team that have begun to figure it out.
And they're always the top dog, they're always the cash cow, they're always the one side that any union, Ireland, England, France, whatever, wants to play. They have that incredible respect around the world. They deserve it. They have been #1 for some time. They're not at the moment, but they are coming. World Cup, what, in 3 years or so, they will be there. This is what Scott Robertson's doing. He's building now. I think that man will be there if he stays injury-free. And as Sam Cane goes and TJ Paradara go, people fill in. Like I said, it's their national product in New Zealand. The expectancy is so high. The pressure is incredible.
Terrific attacking position for New Zealand on the Italian 10-metre line, centre of the pitch, options both ways. But Italy somehow find a penalty. New Zealand accused of wheeling that scrum.
Well, we'll just say we got 11 seconds before that man comes back on to make it 15. Sometimes when there's a call comes, the back row really don't put their weight in. Obviously, I don't know whether it was 7, I didn't look. Maybe one of the wingers comes in, and all it takes is just not quite enough ounceage or poundage going in, and all of a sudden Italy get that push on, and that's a change over a ball. So from a position of not quite good strength now, they're pumping that ball almost into the 22.
Captain's back. New Zealand restored to the full 15 as we tick towards 30 minutes.
And there you go, it's number 12. You got Leonard Brown, who's come in on the flank side. I'm not saying he's a bad flanker, but again, he has obviously just not put the weight in.
Oh, Italy butcher the opportunity at the line out.
What is that? Use it!
That's the third one they've lost. Gianmarco Lucchesi and his second rows just didn't get the number right. Capuozzo comes forward, and that one's bouncing around like a pinball, and
first knock on
kicks it downfield. The referee says the first knock on came from an Italian hand, and there have been 1 or 2 too many of those as well.
But as we said, we didn't walk the pitch, but we were down the chairs before, and it's going to get a little bit more than New Zealand. You call it whispering death. Which is just a little bit of chew on the ball, and again, that's making a few mistakes, but exactly making a very exciting game. The crowd are loving it. The coaches are not, obviously. They can't put a control on the ball on their game plan at the moment, but this isn't again another bad position for New Zealand, but we saw what happened with that last scrum.
Coach! Bye.
Italy really need to hold firm defensively right now.
Bob slip. Tight head, lose his feet. Same from loose head, reset.
Tight head and loose head, losing your feet. It should be 90 degrees, but the law states they should be 90 degrees, the two props, but it never is. Obviously, they're going to take so much poundage at their backsides and going forward in there. You can see their legs straight out behind them. So if you're not sure of a re-scrum,
make sure you control the weight, take the heat. Control the weight, they will take the heat.
Rugby World Cup just over 12 months ago. New Zealand beat Italy by 96 points to 17.
I remember watching that in Leon and thinking, what am I witnessing here?
Set!
Artie Savea picks, goes and goes to the back line. Good tackling again, but away comes Clark up towards that 22. Roigard, Scott Barrett on it goes to Sititi, who's done really well. He's had a great European tour as well as Sititi, no doubt about that. New Zealand just inside the Italian 22 with slower ball, and it gives the Italians a chance to set their defensive line. Roigard, Bo Barrett, Will Jordan steps back, but again the dew on the ground is causing an issue for players stepping off their feet at an angle. And Menoncello has made a menace of himself at the breakdown. That is wonderful work from Tommaso Menoncello, the 22-year-old. He's been one heck of a find this year.
Use it. 2.
Pedrello, back it goes. Crossfield kick from Garbisi to Trola, who doesn't deal with it, and then Capuozzo knocks it forward. Third or fourth time I've said that in this half. Italy, the idea was so good. The execution of the kick was on the money. Simple catch was beyond them. Sititi's through the gap. The New Zealand are going to do it again. Jordan. Oh, Monty Ioane, take a bow. Sititi out the back door. That looked like a try all day long. But somewhere, from nowhere, Monty Ioane and the crowd love him for it.
Look, skills win you games. Defence also wins you games as well. Again, it's a beautiful move. Sititi, you say he's been quiet. He has that much ball. Again, it's a little bit lateral from New Zealand. They didn't stay out on the wings. They made it a little bit, easy for Italy just to crab across the field. Normally, that's a try. You got 2 backs out there. Will Jordan, but again, he's side down by Ioane.
And watch, he gets up, not having done it once, does it twice.
And then the forced pass from Sititi again. It's not going all. He knows Scott Robertson. It's not going their way because of the defence. I've got to say, initially, when the first move about 2 minutes ago, Brex, the captain, just scythed down Ioane again in the midfield. He knew exactly what they were trying to do again, and he stopped that. They're stopping, well, move after move, try after try, through their just dogged determination. It's great to watch.
Parfait. Scrum right.
Scrum white, but you know that the black side of the scrum are going to go after this.
And they're back up to a proper 8 as well.
Thanks, Luca. We go. Yeah.
Well, there's 2 options here, Vincent, at 8 as he just gets the ball away, because you can almost feed it to the 8's feet from the scrum half. He doesn't. He's supposed to go in straight, he never does. Or does Capuozzo give it to Pajarello? Do they hit it up? How brave are they? Last time they did it, tried to exit the ball, they put the kick pass right across over the top. So, but 6 minutes to go now. Just don't be too silly.
Set.
Vincent picks and goes. Solid enough scrum from Italy when they needed it.
No.
Pedrello. That's a little dangerous. Not sure why you would narrow the angle. Maybe he felt he was under too much pressure to take the kick on. Seb Negri has done enough. The ball should be there for Italy, but they can't hang around.
Yeah, but Pajarello's right at the bottom of a ruck now. Again, they're messing around too much. That's better. That's good foot rugby.
Much better. Pedrello, Garbisi, and the relief of touch.
Stop.
And now it's getting a little niggly.
Which is great from an Italian point of view, because again, anything that just puts the All Blacks off a little is good. But again, this is the try. It's just too lateral. It's Leonard Brown. He should have probably stayed out a little bit wider on the right-hand side. He was asking for the ball back in field. But again, you've got to say, Will Jordan normally scores from those positions. Ioane was having none of it.
Yeah, 2 tries against Italy at Rugby World Cup 23 for Will Jordan. Try against Ireland on this tour. And as you say, when he gets the ball in that kind of space, well, there's normally just one result. On that occasion, couldn't manage it.
Well, it ain't going right for the Blacks today, because that wasn't straight to start with. I think Vincent went on Italy would have loved to actually just go there, but he knocked it forward. That ain't straight at all.
Really interesting to try and understand how New Zealand find themselves here, because New Zealand and complacency against any nation that I've ever witnessed just do not go hand in hand. So you can't say this is about complacency. Surely you have to say it's about a rise in the level of the Italian attitude, performance and commitment to what they're doing.
And for so long, and this is not taking anything away from Ireland or South Africa, they have been the benchmark. New Zealand have been the benchmark. The way to do things, the way to just tinkle with things, the way to sort things out. This is just an attitude. They haven't been quite there, purely because Italy said, right, OK, we know what's coming and we're not having any of it. They could actually say they know what's coming, they can't do anything about it. Well, they have for the first 40. Still got a big 40 minutes to go.
Oh, yeah, they still have a big 3.5 minutes to go at the end of this first half. They've got to find a way outside of their 22. Negri. He is just one terrific ball carrier.
But he's come back fitter.
That is good. Use it! 2!
Pedrello to the sky. Ioanni's gone after this one. Telea comes forward. And where's the assistant going to mark that one for who? Because it was really close.
That's an Italian ball. I think it's come off Mark Telea's foot. It bounced in field. He was leaving it go because he thought he was out on the full.
No, he's given it to the All Blacks. Crowd don't like it. They agree with you, Dowie. And Cody Taylor's not hanging around to see if a TMO is going to interfere. In the middle of the field is Sam Cane, who's probably thinking, I've had enough of this now. We need something before the break. Scott Barrett leads it up to a Balotu. Garbisi trying to hold him up and create a maul, but the bigger man gets to ground and the tackle is complete. Up again, Italy come, but if you're going to come up, you've got to make the tackles. If you don't, there's room out wide, and Jordan and Leonard Brown don't get their coding right. And the opportunity for a moment anyway has gone. There was acres of space and it looked like they were home and hosed, but Jordan just couldn't find the final pass.
Advantage offside.
Advantage being played to the All Blacks. Surely
again.
A second try in this half is coming.
Well,
Italy hanging on. Multiple infringements. They've been dragged one way and then the other. Eventually Jordan finds a way home. And New Zealand have that second try and will feel a lot more comfortable going to the half-time break. The pressure just too much to bear for Italy.
And that's exactly it. It was just building, building, building. They thought they could probably get away with giving 3, as in a penalty there, just holding that ball up. But somehow New Zealand have got that ball back. And what they do, they don't give the 50-50 balls. They actually just recycle again. And that was Sam Cane on that occasion when he went to this right-hand side. He said, he's now done on the left, on the right. I'm not going to give the ball out to the winger to have a chance to be pushed into touch. I'll keep it in field. We'll recycle once, twice, thrice, and then they're over underneath the posts.
And sudden there is significant daylight between the sides. Italy 6, New Zealand 17.
And you always say, well, you get in that 22, you get in the killing zone, you get in the red zone, you come away with points. They've struggled to do that with a dogged determination and the actual sort of blitz of the Azzurri defensive pattern. That time it was breached. And again, Will Jordan's had a couple of chances, but that time he is over.
And conversely, on the occasions that Italy have got up to the 22 and maybe beyond against the All Blacks, they've not been able to execute a line out, or there's been a knock forward and the opportunity has been lost. We're in the red at the end of an absorbing first half. New Zealand and Roygaard say that's enough of that. We'll go to the changing rooms, we'll have a little think about what we're doing, and we'll come back out and try and solve those problems in the second half. A first half where Italy were all action, but all the action only got them 2 penalties from Garbisi, 2 tries from the All Blacks. Roygaard on 24 minutes, Jordan on 39, 7 points from the boot of Beauden Barrett. It all adds up to that scoreline at half-time. Italy 6, New Zealand 17. The Allianz Stadium in Turin is the home side. Run out to join the All Blacks. The start of this second half on this weekend of Autumn Nations games. Of course, France counting for Argentina last night. Ireland pumping Fiji this afternoon. Wales well beaten by South Africa also this afternoon. Of course, that's only if you're in Europe. Wherever you are in the world, hope you enjoyed those games. 2 more to come as well, of course. Scotland against Australia just after 1:30 GMT on Sunday, and then England against Japan after 4 o'clock GMT on Sunday. Shrill blast of the referee's whistle, and we are off and running at the Allianz Arena, where it's dropped a degree or 2 on this Saturday night, late Saturday night in Turin. The question, Dowie Morris, is can Italy somehow score next, bridge that gap and get back up to the emotional level of delivery of performance that we saw in the first half?
They can, they've just got to make less errors when they get into the All Blacks half. That's good, that's a good exit. Again, there's no access to that kick, so hence that's why they've got a penalty. They'll pump this up another 25 metres. But again, what's kept them in the game so far is the 105 tackles they've made. You know, against 36, that's how much possession New Zealand have had. With those, they've had 10 dominant tackles, which stops the All Blacks on the game line. They need more of that, more of the same. And now when they get down there, they need to be crystal clear in everything they do and don't drop the ball.
Little look on social media at half-time. It's never a bad thing to see what those at home are thinking, and probably the most succinct line I saw was from someone who said Italy seemed to do all the hard things really well and the easy things badly in that first half. And that is a correction of that trend, because the line-out wasn't good in those positions in the first half, and they've got that one right. Now, can they build on it? Here's Nacho Brex in midfield, or is it Vincent alongside him? Both wearing the same coloured scrum cap in midfield. It was Brex that carried, and Ardi Sevilla had a little look at the referee, and the referee said that one's out, you can play for it. And it's a basic error from Italy, just not protecting the ball at the breakdown. Capuozzo did not have his best 40 minutes. We'll look to improve on that in this second half. Roigard is there, but Pedrello is opposite number, is the one who digs it out, and ball again not particularly well controlled. In fact, it's knocked forward at the breakdown, and those basic errors are the ones that Gonzalo Quesada will have been saying at half-time, we got to stop making.
So coming back to your point, they're playing all the right notes, but not necessarily in the right area.
The right tune.
But again, you see the format what they're doing from that line out. It was good. It was Brex into the middle. Then they don't put enough people in to secure the ball. Everybody's on the next movement. Well, the first thing in rugby union is you've got to protect that ball. New Zealand know exactly that move is coming. They do their analysing. They've got analysts that just stay up all night to do that. They know, again, Ardi Surveyor just let two guys go over the top. He comes over, nicks the ball, and that's it.
If you're joining us late, that's the voice of Dowie Morris, former England and Lions scrum half, and having a little look around the stadium as a number of people have yet to take their seats. It was a 41,000 sellout the first half, everybody there, but it's gone a little quiet at the start of this second half. New Zealand get the advantage from that scum, and Roigard has driven them, as will Satiti, deep into Italian territory. Referee says nothing accruing, so he's going to go back quite a distance to give them that penalty.
But that's why Roigard is, for me, the coming man. He's now the present man. He gets you 10 more metres. He's like a back row forward. Again, Italy, you've got to bring him down quicker than that. Again, they've come back for the initial penalty, which again, this boy Barrett will just pop into the corner. They'll just build and build and build. Do the simple things well. Sean Fitzpatrick, the great All Black captain, that's the one message he used to say, do the simple things well. They're not going to go away from that. They've got gifted, talented players out there. They've got fantastic ball smiths.
Time off.
Again, just do it right.
Change for Italy in the front row. Simone Ferrari is in for Marco Riccioni. Confirmation of that, little shake of the head to suggest, well, A, he's not happy, or B, he's carrying an injury that's stopping him from continuing, because it is early in this second half for him to be called ashore. Italy, crucially, have the ball again. Negri into the All Blacks. Confirmation that that's a tactical substitution rather than the injury, so disappointment for Riccioni, obviously. Ball bounces, always a dangerous thing. Taylor took it going backwards, and as soon as he grabbed it, he got shoved in the back, but Talaya's picked it up, and he's into open country. New Zealand, Taylor back inside, Talaya, that was forward. It's been very un-New Zealand-like in situations like that. We saw it from Jordan, we saw it from Leonard Brown or Ioane, and now from Talaya. They get in behind a defence, normally it's curtains, but they've missed the opportunity again.
Well, we've got a time off, so we'll listen to the referee. I totally agree. They're just forcing it sometimes when they don't have to, and that's so un-New Zealand-like. We're not quite sure what this is for, but the TMO's come in. We'll listen in.
TMO call, want to show me a foul play by 5 black.
5 black.
I'm in front of the screen.
Patrick Tuipolotu is the man to keep an eye on.
In. Yeah, that one.
It's the assistant referee, the Georgian official Nika Amashkoveli.
Okay, let's go.
And the referees are mic'd up to the audience
so
of the crowd.
Coming.
We'll watch on. That's Negri going in.
So, number 5, black. You have a contact to the head on the ball carrier. Number 6, white.
Can you freeze the frame at the point of contact?
So, freeze the frame on the point of contact.
I'm not seeing this with yellow contact. No, I'm starting at yellow card and going back with mitigation. So, Tual, I'm seeing head contact, yes.
Yes.
It's a full play, yes. It's not bending out. I don't see a high level of danger, and I've got 2 tackles involved. A mitigation from the previous tackle will change the dynamic, so I will go for penalty.
Okay, so you don't want to reconsider the degree of danger?
No, I've got 2 tackles involved, so for me it's not high level, just a penalty against 5 because there is 2
penalty tackles. Against 5s.
Yeah.
It's on the 22s.
I've got a decision, Captain. It will be a penalty against 5. It's not bench enough, but it will be just a penalty because there is a previous tackle from your player, so it's a mitigation, just a penalty against 5. No, not bench enough.
C'est à 22 mètres et 20 mètres de la touche.
Decision is penalty only, and I know there are people sitting at home going, how is that not a yellow card, Dowie Morris?
Well, we've seen them give it as a yellow because, again, it's the shoulder of the big second row. Tuipulotu's gone into Negri's shoulder-like head. What the referee has said is that he was actually coming spinning out of it, another tackle prior to it. I agree with the people at home. It could have gone one way, it could have gone t'other. It's that slight inconsistency, but there is a mitigation that actually it came from the tackle before, so ref's decision.
That was a set play for Menoncello, and doesn't he do well? And the Italians have got to spring in their step again in this second half. Can they execute? Can they find a moment that might open this New Zealand defence? No better man than Capuozzo, and out wide it goes. Montijoani, crowd on their feet, willing Italy to that line. Capuozzo's going to try and do it all on his own. Lucchesi picks it up. Referee says that's all legal. Capuozzo again around the corner. He's running, he's driving, he's doing everything he can to get Italy to that New Zealand try line. Time for calm, cool heads. New Zealand go about their defensive work.
No!
5 meters short now as Federico Rosa comes around the corner. There for Negri. He'll carry into a black wall. Can they execute? Vincent. Advantage being played. Free throw on the ice for Fischetti and co. Wide it goes again. Rosa just short. They keep knocking at the door. They just can't get it to open. That was brilliant from Capuozzo.
Well, again, you interviewed Gonzalo Quesada and he said they're going to have fresh legs. Well, he is fresh. He hasn't trained for 10 days. Look at Negri. He wants the crowd. He wants this Juventus crowd on their feet. These boys are just driving forward. You think All Blacks have got their hands on the ball. It's a penalty. They keep going and going. Now what will they do? Will they take the 3? No, they won't. They've got to pump this into the corner. But you are asking for somebody to actually light the fire. Capuozzo is that guy. He nearly got through on his own. He's involved 3 times. Now here we go.
Huge moment in this game. Absolutely no doubt about it. Gianmarco Lucchesi and Italy simply must execute this line-out.
Backwards.
A little bit of a muddle, but they have the ball. Whatever the plan was, though, it stopped as they hit the ground, and Lucchesi finds himself, what, 7, 8, maybe 9 meters back now. All Blacks come forward. Dino Lam drives Italy forward almost up to the 5-meter line. Negri will carry all day for you. Arnie Sevilla told to get away from it. Eventually does. Pedrerello. Hands might get them there. Zuliani wrapped up. Montijoani. Brilliant tackle. Brilliant tackle from Sititi. Vincent. Scotty Barrett is the one to stand up now. Shooting forward is Lomax. Was he offside? Referee says yes.
Well, he is offside, yeah.
Advantage being played to the Italians. So close, but for a second time, New Zealand infringe. Now, will Monsieur Bruze have something to say, and will it involve the colour yellow?
I don't think yet, but he's going to tell them if that carries on, it will be.
We've got 2 penalties on the row of the red zone. Next one could be a yellow card.
There you go.
Offside, bad timing, early move. Number 3. Ball was still in.
Great captaincy by Scott Barrett, just asking the referee, what was that for?
To tackle that part of the ball carry, just that late.
Yeah, but if you want to be rewarded for contest, tackler has to be
Brilliant.
first.
Brilliant, just diffusing the situation. The crowd noise here is unbelievable. Right, last time they went to a 2-ball and tried to switch it into the middle of the line at Italy. We'll see what they do. I think if they get it correct, obviously the closer they throw it in, easier it is to get the ball. But again, the more attacking options are to the back of the line out. But I think they'll go 2-ball. They've just got to be careful. They've just got to get their timings right, and then they've got to get the drive right.
Well, Gonzalo Quesada said pre-match he wanted Italy to show up and give the Italian rugby public something to be proud of in their performance. Dino Lam goes to the air to try and cut this gap. 10 minutes into the second half. Lucchesi has it at the back of a maul that's gone lateral, not forward. Pedrerello's going to be forced to use it. Nacho Brex.
Release!
Ball is loose and Sam Cane.
Got to be a yellow.
Offside from someone in black.
Assist tackle.
Well, there you go. Decision is for the referee to award the yellow card. He said it was coming if they infringed again. Offside, many of them. Leonard Brown is the one who sees yellow.
Well, he's taking one for the team again. You can see Brex, the captain, as ever. Follow me, lads, over the top without a tin hat. He'll take it in. Leonard Brown has just ripped it off the referee. It could be 1 or 2, but again, he's taken one for his team. They've gone into the corner. It's the correct thing to do. The noise level is unbelievable, but they've got to get a score. They've got to get a try.
Time off. Which number?
It's going to be a change at
1 and 2.
hooker for New Zealand. Mustafa Amua and also Ofa Tuongafasi will come in. Cody Taylor, Ethan de Groot will make way. Their first involvement in this game will be to try and defend against this Italian lineout.
Well, it looks like they're going for a 5-man lineout.
You feel already this is the game right here from an Italian perspective. Any chance, they've got to convert. In goes Menoncello, in goes Brex, in goes Ioane. They're trying to move that ball forwards, but New Zealand have done a stellar job defending. Now, where's the ball? Italy still feel they have it. Lucchesi, I think, in there, and he's driven forward. But the New Zealanders, through Amua, I think,
unplayable, scrum black,
have turned it over, and that was the perfect lesson in defending and attacking maul.
The Hurricanes just come in and he's just diffused the situation perfectly.
Number 2,
again, if you're going forward, all they've got to do is just actually stop that ball getting back and hold it up. There's another big blow. Dupavai comes on. Again, they put in fresh legs on, they need to, but again, Italy have to score.
Nico Terra comes in for Lucchesi and hooker. Canone comes in for Rosa in the second row. And for the New Zealanders, Topovai in for Patrick Tuipolotu.
What a game he's had. It was unbelievable. Nicking balls, again at the centre, everything, big carries, big tackles. That's what you wanted, again, that's what you want from your engine room. One of the most experienced guys, and he's given it tonight.
Yeah, Federico Rosa.
We cannot move away.
50 caps and
too much
a shining star in that first half for the Italians. All that said, 15 against 14, 4 or 5 minutes of continued pressure, penalty after penalty, and nothing.
That's what great sides do, they just absorb it. They don't panic. They just put the bodies on the line, they go into defence mode, and that's it. There's a call that goes up, right, bang, thou shalt not pass. And now they've just got to exit well.
Great scrum from New Zealand, exactly what the doctor ordered.
Angle. Tight head.
Buy him a point in the front row. Tungafasi's just come on. Ao's come on. Again, the strength is there. They know, let's buy a pen. We've got the strength to do it. They've got the cohesion, and they've got the wherefore and what are, and that's it. You know, it's don't exit with using the fly half. We'll just get the penalty.
Yeah, Nico Terra, Simone Ferrari under all sorts of pressure there. More is about to come because you can see Fletcher Newell being readied. TJ Paranara hasn't quite got to the point where he looks like he's coming on yet.
He'll have 10 minutes at the end, that'd be nice. Last test match, led the fantastic Haka.
2 meters.
Again, the reverence showed by this crowd was superb, same as in Paris last weekend, brilliant.
By Sam Cane. And New Zealand, having soaked it up, will now go in search of putting the final nail in any Italian resistance. As Mondiani takes a kick from Bowden Barrett that was neither fish nor foul.
No, again, it's a kick to nothing, really. What it does is just actually put Italy back in their 22. But they've kept the back row of New Zealand very quiet, Italy. You know, Ali Survey hardly mentioned him. Satiti's been very quiet. And Sam Cane, I don't think you've mentioned him once.
2 Italians going for this. And Capuozzo
Not on the ball.
got there. That had muddle written all over it.
Use it.
Pedrello with the kick after it goes through that man. It was knocked forward by a New Zealand hand.
And that was Caelan Clark who did that. Again, if the old rules applied, he'd have had a free take of that ball. What happened is that the New Zealand guys, it was like the parting of the way. They had to get out of the way, which enabled him, and all of a sudden he sees someone in the corner of his eyes, then drops the ball. So what was really not a great kick from Pedrello becomes a good kick. You can see straight away he's not comfortable. He doesn't know someone's competing against him. It's Trula. He gets up there. Okay, Nigre has to be somewhere in the shot. He's been everywhere tonight. Again.
There's confirmation of Fletcher Newell in, which means Tyrrell Lomax is gone, and at scrum half for Italy, Alessandro Garbisi. Garbisi the younger comes in for Pedrello, who's done well.
He's had a good platform. You've got to say the Italian forwards have scrapped for everything. Sometimes the ball hasn't been as clean as he's wanted it, and it's a bit of a greasy service. But I agree with you, Riley. He's been very good.
Set of brothers on both sides now with Alessandro Garbisi and Pablo Garbisi for the Italians, and Bowden Barrett and Scott Barrett for the New Zealanders. Of course, Jordy Barrett not available for this one. A knee injury last week has ruled him out. Jordy due to join Leinster.
Again, absolutely, yeah, but coming back to that penalty, stupid penalty again. It's the spiral bomb going up, which is very difficult to take sometimes. Capuozzo does it. Again, you can't opt for another scrum after that. A penalty was given, a free kick was given from that scrum. You can't do that. You have to do something with that ball to make the play quicker. But again, I've got to say Barrett didn't actually strike that well. It wasn't the best of his kicks.
Well, it hasn't been perfect out of the hand from Bowden Barrett tonight, no doubt about that. Will Jordan sets it up and Roygaard gets New Zealand moving forward again to Pavai. All this time, remember, New Zealand playing with 14.
Tackle now! No, you trap him, let him!
Trulla trying to get out of the way, and eventually does.
Okay, advantage, no arms tackle wide.
No arms tackle against an Italian defender. That's the sort of thing that's going to kill you. It just gives territory. And before that, it gives a free play, which Jordan finds the TT and he flings it back to Scott Barrett. And then Bowden Barrett, who's retreating, trying to find... Oh, that's a really good kick. I mean, that is so good. He was like a quarterback in the pocket who went one way, went the other, had a little look to see what was downfield, and then executed the most wonderful kick out of hand. 90 seconds after I said he wasn't kicking well out of hand.
I tell you what, he might have a future, that lad. I tell you. But again, they're coming back for the pen because that is the advantage. But
19.
Great players see things that other people don't, and you know, a little chip over the top. Initially, you think it's going to work, but it's that final pass that hasn't quite happened tonight for the All Blacks. This will go right into the 22.
Quick ball. Make sure you don't trap players. Let the player leave. Don't trap them. Okay.
Scotty Barrett talking to the referee again, and the referee talking to Scotty Barrett. I think they'll be sending Christmas cards at this rate.
This was about Ikapolo Trulla on this side trying to get away, and shall we say being encouraged to stay in by Caleb Clark and others, and the referee just saying don't do that.
They're trying to buy a penalty, obviously, that's what they're doing, but you can't do it. You've got to roll from west to east or whatever it is, but basically you've got to be allowed to do that. The Blacks weren't doing that.
Sack is good on the first.
Look who's in the game, wearing 21 for New Zealand.
Break away.
For the final time in black, TJ Palanara, who led the haka at the beginning, in for cap 89. What a servant, a cultural leader, a psychological leader, and a fantastic player to boot. But more on him later. Right now, it's about Italy's defensive effort, which continues to be first rate. And some of the players, led by Nacho Brex, encouraging the crowds to get behind them and continue to drive that energy into the team.
Well, it's getting a bit more even. 121 tackles against 83. That's 121 for Italy. But again, it's shoulder to the wheel stuff. They have to do it. They have to do it. Penalties conceded now. New Zealand 10. The average is about, what, 11, 12-ish, we say. So both teams are getting near that limit with 20 minutes to go. But that boy's on. He'll want to finish in some style.
And just on that penalty count, remember that Italy, after 15 minutes, had given away 5, and they've sorted that discipline out. 8 in total now, and the New Zealanders are the ones who've outstripped them in terms of penalties conceded. That's a competition, and I'm not sure who's won it. May well have fallen on the Italian side. It is there for Garbisi. Alessandro Garbisi, that is. And Alessandro Garbisi again, and here's his brother who looks to step inside. And after it goes to Titi.
Here's it.
Well, I'd be trying to get this ball to Capawutsu in a bit of space, not necessarily going up that blind side. There's not much space there, but getting. You can see he's just hovering behind the pack at the moment. But he seems to be the firework that you need to light.
Titi did a great job of getting there to block down the kick. What about this guy on this tour? We knew he was coming. We knew that he had the potential. I think it's fair to say he's lived up to that potential and beyond on this European tour.
Again, it's that coveted position. Okay. What does he want to be? Does he want to be the 7 or does he want to be the 8? He can play anywhere he wants, basically. He's playing 6 tonight. It's not necessarily, again, he's been quiet as Ardie Savea has been. It's his ability in broken field to do the right thing at the right time, and he's got pace to burn. That's the difference.
Oh, that was brave from Brex to get there, but in getting there, he was hit hard, and he spills the ball forwards. New Zealand will get the scrum. All those little moments going the Black way at the moment.
That's what a captain does. Follow me, lads. Again, they wear it like a badge of honour. It was a 50-50 ball. There's no malicious intent from both sides here. It's just overthrown, unfortunately. A bouncing ball. Who's going to go for it? Shoulder on shoulder. No problem. No problem. It'll hurt in the morning. I can assure you that. But at this moment in time, there's enough adrenaline coursing through your body on both sides.
Yeah.
Crowd believe that contact on Brex is something that the referee should be penalising.
Well,
that's
this
what
is-
the whistling is for.
And this is TJ's area now. Look at him, he's already looking. So again, where's the left wing? Where's Ioannis sitting there? Arnie Surveyor's in the van at the back. Is he going to go? I think you got a nice little blindside move going here. Or they want to buy a penalty. There you go. They got the power to do it.
They have complete control of that scrum now. Here's Perinara and Telea. Then he little dinks in behind, and Capuozzo sweeps up at the back. But we're going to go back for the penalty.
And we'll listen in. The ref said enough of the front row.
We need to fix the problem of the scrum. New tight head is angling. The angle is not good when he's under pressure. Next time he will go to the bin.
I will talk to the hooker.
Yeah. You can talk to the hooker and touch the tight head. Stay straight.
We have a problem at the scrum that we need to fix. I'm not sure how you fix the raw power coming through at you that you can't handle.
Again, these two, I think the two Kiwis that come off the bench, Tungafasi and now Amoa, have made a heck of a difference there. They know it's their last 40 minutes of international rugby this year, as everyone does at the bench. You see McKenzie's coming on, everybody's coming on. Leonard Brown's coming back on. I don't know, I can't see at the moment.
No, Leonard Brown won't come in.
Yes.
Damien McKenzie on the left wearing 23, and David Havili.
Havili, that's it.
In some ways the forgotten man. Havili, with so much going on in the midfield, Havili back and getting his opportunity in the last 30 minutes or so. McKenzie, what a tour he's had. 12 points against France, 18 points against Ireland.
Where's he playing though? That's the key.
Okay. Time back on.
He's gone to 15 by the looks of it. Jordan's gone to the right wing. Talea's back down here on the left wing, off his right wing. It's all changed, but they're that talented, it doesn't affect them.
One at the back of the maul. Arnie Surveyor at the back of the maul, and they're moving forward again, and Perinara says, now I'll have it. And they'll look to execute McKenzie into the game, looking to make an immediate impact, bounces off 1, 2, maybe 3 men, and Cello eventually. Should go on to drag him down.
Sorry, Ryan, he should have given that to Mark Telea. He did have a little bit of space on this left-hand side.
On they come. 17 points to 6. 62 minutes deep. That was the score at half-time.
No way! Off it!
No score in the second half. New Zealand looking to right that right now. Fletcher Newell, TJ Perinara, Sam Kane, nice hands. The Barretts combine and it finds its way out to Telea. Then he fights for a yard or two. Garbisi holds on. McKenzie fires it out. Kane runs into a big tackle from Ferrari. Havili. Italy just tackle after tackle after tackle. Barrett looks to break through. Bowden Barrett, that is. McKenzie out wide. Ioannis stretched on Jordan. Kane on the All Blacks come. It's just a menacing wave of attack. And Italy retreat on each phase. Up comes Paolo Garbisi. Great tackle. Knocks McKenzie back and just takes a little bit of the pressure off his teammates, but only for a moment as New Zealand come again. Advantage being played. Eventually, a mistake from Italy. A tired Italy. How could they not be? In behind the kick goes. It's a free play. It'll come to nothing.
Amazing. Again, just calm down, boy. Well done. It's just lovely to watch. Italy are just throwing themselves everything into it. Their souls are going into this game. You can see only 10 scrum, go for the scrum. Again, they were playing a free play. The referees come all the way back down to this left-hand side, but again, it's the presentation of the ball. It's don't panic. TJ Perinara is back on there. He can just orchestrate things. but they know the next score is crucial. You've got 15 minutes to go.
Opposite side.
You score a try from
Opposite
here,
side.
and again, as a contest, the game's gone. Italy's still got a chance, but it's a long way off.
135 tackles from Italy. Missed 23. 11 of those tackles dominant. It's something that they've prided themselves on. And when you're playing that blitz defence, you're going to miss tackles.
Yeah, and I bet Manicello is some of these guys have made big differences. The bench has been well done.
Please, come
But
on.
again, they've gone for what Cody Taylor wanted, was the scrum on that right-hand side, and now this is a delicious right-hand side as Perinara puts that ball back inside to Mark Talea. But again, it's tackle after tackle after tackle, balls coming out the back. It's the no-look pass from the captain, Barrett. McKenzie gets one again. Sam Kane gets one again.
Okay. Number 5,
There's a head injury to somebody, so Ruza has to come back.
Dino Lam is being called out for a HIA, a head injury assessment, and Federico Rosa will go in while Lam goes through that assessment.
And again, looking at this blind side, you see, what do they want to do? Well, they've had the ascendancy in the scrum, especially in the second half, the All Blacks. So I think they'll hit in and get it going forward, and then it's what they do afterwards. You can see Ioane talking, is it to Garbrisi? They normally hide Garbrisi, the 10, for Italy on that sort of left-hand side. There's 2 of them there. They think it's going to go right from this scrum.
set.
15 minutes ago, Italy were in this position at the other end of the field and they couldn't convert.
And that's the difference.
They couldn't find a way to cross that line. Can the All Blacks do it? Out it goes to Talea, who tries to control it with his foot, but back we go for another penalty, and there's going to be a yellow card. And the man who's going to face the yellow card is Simone Ferrari.
The best name in this Italian team, Mr. Ferrari's gone.
And what's time?
He's blown a gasket. He's taking one for the team. Oh, come on, you know me better than that. Not letting that opportunity go, but again, they will go for a scrum here without a shadow of a doubt. And this could be walking underneath the posts as a penalty try.
Okay.
Gonzalo Quesada looks on. International rugby can be very, very harsh, but again, the referee has warned them, as he did for the All Blacks.
So Marco Riccioni's going to have to come back in because we need a qualified prop to scrum.
Okay.
And he's ready to come.
7 blacks.
Otherwise it goes to uncontested, and that's something the All Blacks don't want.
We need a prop.
They want this marching forward, controlled at the back by Adi Surveyor.
Piralakai is in as well.
He was very impressive last week.
And it's Sam Kane who's going to make way. What a player, what a servant. Take a bow. Sam Kane, 104 international caps. Took over as a 7 and a captain from arguably the greatest ever. And this was a huge shirt to fill. And rightly, those that have played alongside him and those around the world that have supported him rise to their feet, as do the opposition, to recognise one of the game's greats.
It's almost this John Kerwin, fantastic glasses. I saw him before, he said, I can get you a pair of those. I said, no thanks. But again, that guy wears the 7 jersey. Mark Jones, McCall, you know, all these great guys, and it's pressure to wear an All Black jersey. It's incredible pressure to wear a 7 on your back and then to become captain. So well done, mate. Have a great I'm going to say have a great retirement. He's off to Japan, but what a servant.
So Kapawatsu's gone in order to bring Riccioni into the front position for this scrum. TJ Perinara is almost in the scrum. Out the back he comes. On it goes to Havili from Bowden Barrett. Italy continue to tackle for all their worth. Giuliani's on the wrong side. It's another penalty. So if the referee is of a mind, it'll be another yellow card.
I think that ball came out of the scrum a little bit too quick.
Talea. He's had slippy hands all day.
Outside. You got the number, Luca?
The problem is, who does he give it against? I think he's just going to let this one ride, because if you send another prop off, you do go down uncontested. No, that wasn't for any scrum decision, that's just an attack, and here they go. I think this is the game here. The All Blacks going to score, and that's it.
Menoncello patched together and put back in the line.
Crouch! Burn! Set!
All Blacks will have another go at it.
Stay by.
With the one-man advantage. Popped up for Perenara. Barrett out wide, it slips up. That's another terrific tackle from Monty Ioane again. Need the replay to confirm it. Referee's got a call from his assistant.
Okay. Time off. We will check.
Well, you're not allowed to deliberately back the ball away like in rugby
the
league.
ball outside or not?
Again, I was looking at the situation of...
Okay, we look at the action of the number 13 white.
Here we go.
So the first thing, the 15 black is not in touch. Okay. And then the 13 touches the ball with the head first.
Touch with the head, so no foul play. We will start by scrum. Agree?
There is another angle here. It's not deliberate.
Okay.
Not deliberate.
I've got a decision. Scrum black. Scrum.
Okay. It was Monty Ioane, by the way, and it was another fantastic tackle. Into the game wearing 20, Alessandro Isakor, and it's Ziliani who'll make way. Ziliani's done some amount of work.
Yeah, he likes the physical, and that's what they've done tonight. They've dished it up. The Italians, they've dished up a bit of pain for the All Blacks. They've stopped him on the game, and they've not given him access to any areas of their side, and they've made him fight for every point they've got on that board, and it's not many. Last time these two teams, as you mentioned, 96 points to 17 in Lyon in that World Cup. That's how much they've improved.
No. There is no space. There is no space. Both on this side.
He's having enough of this front row.
Let's space.
Dear Bruzet, he'll be dreaming of him.
Well, we've been here now for 7 or 8 minutes, and New Zealand have had 3 bites of the cherry and not been able to swallow it. So let's see if it's, well, fourth time lucky for the men in black, because Italy have defended stoutly. But again, they'll be asked to do it, and the referee sticks out in an arm. Advantage Italy, he says, and New Zealand play on. And the irony is now that Talea and Co will find a way home. But you've got to go back and ask.
I think it's backwards.
If the arm goes out, and then he puts it down, well, maybe he just felt that something he thought he saw, he didn't. And Talea capitalizes, and that, for all intents and purposes, is the ball game.
It is indeed. I think as a contest, it's difficult for Italy to come back just with the territory and the pressure that you know that New Zealand have exerted on it, and they will carry on, I'm sure, for the next 10 minutes. But
can I have it?
Yeah, I don't know whether he's looking at someone. He might be looking at that situation, but he's given the try.
Thanks, John.
We've got the shot clock in now.
Shot clock is there, and the crowd aren't happy. Bowden Barris lines it up. Oh, that's a majestic strike. Absolutely beautiful.
I was just going to say you're booing the wrong bloke here, because again, he just phases it out. great strike of the ball. This is it, they were buying a pen, they were going for it. It falls down in the midfield again. It's a hand from Brex. And that ball has gone forward from him. That's why the play-on situations allowed. Mark Talea, an immense finisher, try scorer, again, just seals things for the All Blacks.
Beaten more defenders in 2024 than any other player is Mark Talea, Tier 1 internationals, that is. And he caps it all off with the try that will seal the deal here against an Italian side that have delivered that performance that Gonzalo Quesada asked of them, which was to make Italian rugby proud of what they were trying to achieve. And I don't think, even with 9 minutes, 8 minutes left on the clock, it's safe to say they've done that.
Yes, you could see in his face it was a little bit of trepidation. He going, the All Blacks have picked a great side, and we are, you know, we're relieved that they've done that. They're showing us the respect, but they know also what comes with the respect is, my goodness me, we could be on the end of a heck of a shellacking here. As again, we mentioned that World Cup game, but they haven't been. They've actually gone back to the form they showed in the Six Nations. You know, again, they're winning 2 games, drawing games, that's their best performance. They weren't great against Argentina in their first autumn series. They were better against Georgia. They found a way to secure that win, but they've performed superbly well tonight. And you can say whether the All Blacks, you know, are they on the best? It was their last game. They're already on the beach. They're already ordering the cocktails. Well, whatever. They've still, you know, had to fight for it, because again, this Italian side has been very, very committed.
Set.
Feed to the scrum from Alessandro Gambisi, who then goes on a little run. Ball pops out on the All Black side. They look to turn defence into attack, and Mackenzie downfield, and All Blacks are coming. Brex did really, really well to get back there and be the first man to arrive, helped by a posse in white. And Isakor will play scrum half, and Italy will have to start all over again, and Negri, as always, is the one to eke out that first couple of yards.
And that's a game of 60 metres just from one simple mistake. And again, that's what the All Blacks will make you do. And straight away, Mackenzie, he could have kept that ball alive, but the actually pragmatic thing to do is put the ball ahead of you. The chase is going to be there. Try and counter a ruck, and if not, you kick it out. Italy are kicking out from their 22, and we get the throw in at the line out.
Out of 15.
Perinara. Scott Barrett off to Wallace Satiti. Perinara again.
Yes!
Mackenzie, Satiti, hanging on is Marco Zanon. Up quickly again come Italy, and that one's gone forward.
Just getting a bit of flow into the game, and then it's just squeezes the pass out of the hand going forward. But again, they're not giving the All Blacks any time whatsoever on the ball. They've got to be absolutely clear, as Chris, as I said before, to get that pass away, because they're absorbing all their sort of air and all their space. Commitment has been phenomenal.
Thank you.
So it's off to the beach for the men in the Southern Hemisphere for the next couple of months. 24 degrees in Auckland on Wednesday. They will head home to summer for a Northern Hemisphere course. Well, one more weekend of Autumn Nations as Ireland face Australia next weekend. And then it's into the club game for a couple of weeks. Of course, the Six Nations. Six Nations on the horizon, and Italy starts in that competition against Scotland away from home, a side they beat in the 2024 competition, and then they face Wales, the other side that they beat in the 2024 competition. So I think they'll feel, based on the performance tonight, and we all know about the momentum issue in a Six Nations, that if they can eke out a win, or maybe better than that, in the first 2 weeks of that Six Nations tournament, well, it's still a long way away, but that's going to be the goal.
But the one big thing, just to leave it at that, is that they'll reflect on their last game and the passion, the power, and everything they've shown. And they said, yeah, they come up short. Well, they're not the only one against the All Blacks.
Advantage.
They can be very proud of this performance.
From All Black.
Penalty.
Side step.
He's got good distance out of that as Garbisi, and as the Italian pack trundle up towards that line-out, confirmation that Will Jordan has been selected by the host broadcaster here as the Autumn Nations player of the match. Probably didn't have an outstanding first half, but he's really come into his own in the second half. As Telea is a little dirt across the line. Pernara, well handled by Fletcher Newell there. That one's gone over the head, but Italy have dealt with it. Monteoani's looked dangerous all day, hasn't he? As is Capuozzo when he got his jets on in this second half. Where's this one off to? This might break for Italy, you know. Menicello, race for the corner. Italy have their try. Do you think they like that here? You better believe it.
Well, that was just absolutely superb, and again, just what the Juventus crowd wanted. Mark Telea just pops it back inside. He was thinking of going to Ioane, it hasn't. Again, it's just a slip of the ball. And the guy that puts his body on the line defensively and has them with his captain, Inacio Brex, scores the try and lifts the lid on this place. Just watch this for a celebration. And that shows what, again, Italy are going to take into the Six Nations.
Great try for Menicello. And Garbisi will look to add the additional two, which he can't. But the clock has a far better look about it in terms of the scoreboard part.
Thanks.
Tommaso Menicello, sixth international try, and one he will remember for a long, long time. Leonardo Marin into the game as Garbisi is the one who makes way.
No, leave it now, leave it.
Still a Garbisi on the pitch. Of course, here he is, Alessandro Garbisi. He's going to go to the air. Scott Barrett tried to get to him, couldn't, and that one out on the full was the decision. Just outside the 22 when the kick was taken. New Zealand will get the throw to the line out in the platform to immediately answer back. At the back is Scott Barrett. Here's Ardi Savea, who looking for a weak shoulder. You saw a little gap in between the two defenders. Just gets the momentum going forward again. Who's at the back of that again? Savea. Satiti. New Zealand 6-7 meters short. Savea once more has a presence of mind just to pop it up. Telea's after this one, and the ball will beat them all. Capuozzo has taken it quickly, and Italy are improvising from their own goal line. It's dangerous if it doesn't come off against the All Blacks, and Beauden Barrett punishes them completely. Capuozzo couldn't resist, and Barrett said, thank you very, very much. I'll take that one on my summer holiday. "45 international tries, hard to believe. From here, well, the danger had passed. Capuozzo said we're going to play. you could see the idea, the execution, not what it needed to be. And you just can't do that. You just can't do it at this level, particularly against this team. Barrett can't convert. 29 points to 11. We'll have one more play. One more play for Sam Cane to watch, one more play for TJ Perenara to take part in.
Backwards.
Italy have it again. Can they finish with a flourish? Well, BC. They've played from minute 1 to minute 81, but they've knocked it forward, and that will be the final act of a game that had so much passion, so much commitment, and so much effort from an Italian side who came in and lived up to the promise and hope of their coach Gonzalo Quesada. New Zealand, though, all that class, all that ability. They soaked up the emotion of the occasion, and the old stalwart Sam Cane and TJ Perenara played their part in a victory that wasn't vintage New Zealand, but in many ways it was, because they were up against it at times, they soaked it up, and they dealt with it. The full-time score, the Allianz Arena in Turin, is Italy 11, New Zealand 29. And so, well, Perenara in particular at this moment is the one to lead the New Zealand line as they meet the Italians in the after-match protocols. Some night of emotion for Cane and for Perenara, having given so much to the jersey for so long. Can't be easy to finally call it a day. But their cycle, their time in black is done. They definitely leave their DNA in the jerseys they leave behind. Set a standard. Lovely moment between Perenara and Bowden Barrett now. Rico Ioani, Mark Telea. The Italians, well, Menoncello will remember that try. And after a start to this Autumn Nations series that was truthfully disappointing in that performance against Argentina, a game they lost by 50 points to 18. They showed moments, they showed glimpses, but they showed no consistency. Their defense was poor, their basics weren't right, and they just didn't hit the pace of the game. Felipe Contepomi's side were just too good on the night. Georgia, a fright no doubt, trailed by 11 at half-time, but crucially figured a way of dealing with that day. Tonight, their best performance by a significant distance in this Autumn Nations series, and something to give them momentum heading into the break before the Six Nations. For New Zealand, well, new coaching staff, some decisions made now on key positions, and they've settled back into their winning ways. A trip to the Northern Hemisphere, it's given them victories over England and Ireland and Italy. Single point loss to France. No doubt that they are very much at the top table. Wallace Satiti in shot there for a moment. The step-up player of this series as the captain, Scott Barrett, leads New Zealand from the field and